Hey everyone, welcome back where today we are going to talk sewing patterns. Simplicity recently had a big sale over Memorial Day weekend and I had to snag some patterns, so let's talk about it. I grabbed a big old stack of physical patterns. I did grab some PDFs as well, which we will talk about in a later video, but today we're going to focus on these physical patterns. I'm going to go through them by brand. I have some Butterick, Simplicity, and a lot of McCall's in here. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first up are the two Butterick patterns that I purchased. Now, just as a preface for those of you that may not know this about me or are new to the channel, I will buy patterns for a variety of reasons. It could be that I just love the entire thing. It could be that there's a skill in the pattern that I'd like to learn or understand, or an element that I'd like to hack into something else. So I'll kind of let you know what I was thinking when I picked these up as we go through them. The first one is Butterick 7040 right here. This is intended for stretch knits. And I just thought it's a very clean, classic silhouette that would look good on a lot of body types. And I love it's almost kind of between like a boat neck and a rounded neckline. It's not quite full boat neck, but I think it's a very, very flattering neckline on this. So I really like that. I like the wrap style at the waist, and of course we have two different lengths here. I think I'd be more likely to go for the shorter length in this particular view, but this is really great. And this only calls for about 2 yards of fabric, just shy of 2 yards on a 60-inch wide fabric. So it's also great for not needing a ton of material. So I was excited to grab just this classic dress. Now the other Butterick pattern that I purchased was B7038 right here. I am really not sure in this haul what is new, old. I have no idea. I just went through and picked things, like I said, that I had some type of interest in. Now, what I love about this one, I do love a good classic collared button-down style dress. I love that look. And I really enjoy the contrast detailing in this view A here. Now, I will say it's maybe a little thick for my taste, but I figured maybe I could kind of play around with just thinning that out a little bit, but I do like it as an accent a lot. I actually think that really makes the dress pop. I just would like it a little bit thinner. And of course, you can't go wrong with just a basic button-down sleeveless dress. We're in the hot months here, so I think this is a great pick. Recommended fabrics are lightweight denim, linen blends, medium weight crepe, stable knits. So lots of options for this dress. Actually, in this stack, I do have some Vogue as well. I forgot because I actually did purchase some PDFs and I'm gonna do 2 separate videos, but there's some Vogue in here as well. Okay, so the only Simplicity pattern that I grabbed in this haul was Simplicity 3108, which is this trending sort of vest pattern we're seeing along with a skirt and pants. So first thing that drew me to this pattern was the fact that there are other pieces. Anytime there are multiple pieces in a pattern, I feel like it's such a good value. And so I do like, obviously they're very classic and kind of basic pants and skirt patterns here, but there's nothing wrong with that. I like classic pieces, so I really like that about this particular one. Now, more generally speaking, I tend to be someone that doesn't go for trends as often, but it does depend on the trend. I'm not saying never. I just like things that I feel like I'm gonna look back on in 10 years and still like how it looked. And I've seen a lot of these look really nice, so I think done well, it definitely has that potential. So I'm excited to try that. And I've got a couple others in here that kind of fall into that category. I typically tend to steer away from that more often than not. But there's a few things kind of coming around that I do enjoy and I want to give a try. So that's gonna take us into McCall's, and I have quite a few McCall's here. So the first up is McCall's 8535. Which is this sort of little nightgown set. Now, this is definitely a departure for me in terms of purchases, but my thinking here was, again, I've got 2 different views on, would you call it a little negligee? I've got 2 views here and the robe, but I'm really interested about this lace insert. This is a technique I personally have not done that I would like to learn how to do. I also think done in the right material, it still has the potential to be a little bit of a sexy evening dress if done appropriately. So of course we're gonna have challis, charmeuse, crepe de chine, georgette, things like that for this particular pattern. All right, next on the list is McCall's 8553, which is this dress pattern right here that, although the dress itself I may not call like overly trendy, this pattern surely has been trending in the sewing community. I'm sure many of you have seen this done many ways, as have I, and I have loved seeing everyone's makes. That is why I snagged this one, because I thought it's been done so well in so many different ways that I'd like to give it a go at some point. And obviously here again, we're gonna have more stable fabrics, our cotton blends, denim, twill, linen, things like that. I love a good linen. I think this would be adorable in linen, but yeah, it's just, this has looked so great on everybody, and I think it's a great looking pattern. That brings us to McCall's 8557, which is this pattern right here, another style top that has been really trendy in the sewing community kind of for a while. I'm sort of late on this train actually, but even though I would probably put this in the trendy category, I think it's really adorable. It's feminine. I really like it. I've seen a lot of people look really cute in these makes as well. So I thought, you know, summer is actually probably my least favorite time of the year. I just don't like the sweltering heat, but I really need some light, breathable shirts. And I thought this would be a great pick for that. And like I said, it's looked really, really pretty and cute on everybody. So I might give this one here a go. Next up on the list is McCall's 8577, and that is this dress pattern here in several different views. Now, the reason this one caught my eye, I'm actually not a huge fan of this particular view, but the line drawings here for view A and for view B have this great, it's almost like princess seamed paneling that's going on, stitching lines that are going through the waistline area and even high into almost an empire situation. And I think that is going to be incredibly figure flattering. So that's the thing that really appealed to me about this pattern, actually were the line drawings here, really showing how the seams kind of hug the natural curve of the body. Now, that I think is also happening in the view C, but because of the material and the color, it's really, you're not seeing that as much. I also think for me too, just in a more casual material instead of this almost satin might work better for this pattern for me personally. So I think this is going to be a really fun one to try out. I absolutely love the style lines on this. It says cotton blends, denim, linen twill. So again, your stable knits. This makes me wonder what that material is because it looks like a satin to me on the model, which isn't mentioned on here, but not 100%. If someone knows, feel free to let me know down in the comments, but I'm thinking a more casual material is going to really sing in this pattern. Then we have McCall's 8586 right here, which is again, another separates situation. That is something that I definitely, like I said, pay attention to when I am pattern shopping. As much as I like this, I actually think I prefer the longer skirt with the top. And I believe the reasoning is because it's so button heavy. There are so many buttons between this small skirt and this small top that I think it's a lot of buttons going on. And I think this longer skirt is going to break that up a little by having this bottom section be void of any button. So that's just my personal opinion. I think this longer skirt and top might be really cool when it's together. I would probably either eliminate a pocket somewhere or something to minimize the button situation if I were to do the shorter view. But I think I'm really going to like this longer view. So that's kind of what I think I'm going to go for here. Again, denim, linen, sateen, twill, and boucle are mentioned as potential fabrics for this. I think I could see going for a twill or possibly even a ponte, even though it's not mentioned. I think there is a potential situation with a ponte knit on this, but we'll see whenever the time comes to make this. Next up is McCall's 8587, which is what I think of as more of like a pajama set. I think it maybe said it was a lounge set, but I just desperately need pajamas, y'all. Like I really need pajamas. And I just thought the pants were kind of fun, how they're tiered. It's for lounging around the house, you know. This is a nice, just loose flowing top. And you've got this little fluttery short too. So I just thought, you know, I'd play around with it. I think I would either make the pants solo or I would make the top and the shorts. I think I would like that better because again, it starts to feel a little heavy between the two here for me. But I think the top and shorts would be adorable together. And I think the pants solo would be super, super cute as well. This is calling for challis, dotted Swiss, georgette, and voile. I think you could totally do this in a jersey knit too. I don't see why not. I think it could be really comfy and bouncy and light in a jersey knit potentially as well. So that's why I snagged this one. All right, now we have our Vogue patterns, our physical Vogue patterns. Like I said, I do have some PDFs that will come at a later date as well. Even though Vogue patterns can be more meticulous at times, I think they are some of my favorites. I just love tailoring. I love all of that. So I was really happy to snag some more Vogue patterns. So this first one is Vogue 2044, which is this sort of, it really could be a good dress that could be casual or dressy depending on the material you choose. I think you could do a linen and make it very casual, or you could do it kind of more as they have it here on the packaging and make it really dressy, or make it an in-between, you know, sort of a semi-formal situation. I really think there's a lot of potential for it being casual or dressy out of this particular pattern. It is calling for 4-ply crepe, silk jacquard, wool crepe, wool flannel. So it's really calling for heavier weight materials for this. I think it could be done, like I said, in something like a linen potentially still as well. I see room for interpretation here, but I certainly see what they're going for with these materials as well. I just think it's a great classic silhouette. I love the bow placement. I love the slight open keyhole at the top, and it's got pockets. Hello. So had to snag this too. Next up, Vogue 2096. I have been eyeing this since it came out. I don't know what it is about this that I just really, really like. I think it's that it really is so casual, yet it's not. I don't know what it is. It's got like a quality where I think you'd be so comfortable, but she's still completely rocking it. I actually think this girl is really pulling off some yellow too, and I know that's not everybody's color, but this looks great on the model, this yellow. So yeah, I don't really know what it is that appeals to me about this, but again, linen, there's a lot of things speaking to me for linen in the patterns that I grabbed, but I definitely think this could work in a linen situation. Some of you heard me speak about my journey with eco printing, which is, I'm going to sort of ramp back up a little bit here after I took a class several years ago, but I've been wanting to get back into that. And anything that I think I can make out of 100% linen that I know could be printed on, I start getting these ideas in my head. And this is such a great blank canvas. There's not a lot of seaming, not a lot going on. So it would leave me some great canvas for exploring printing with, you know, flowers and things directly onto the fabric. So there is that about it too. This is suggesting 4-ply crepe, lightweight denim, linen blends, medium weight silks. So yeah, linen will be a good choice for this, which this one comes as no surprise to me. And it's got a beautiful tie situation up the back and down the leg as well. And you could probably add other ties too if this was too much leg for you. I don't see why you couldn't continue the ties and that sort of thing. So I'm really excited about this one. All right, last up on the Vogue patterns, Vogue 2112, which is this shirt situation. Now, I'm not typically a big peplum girl, but oh my goodness, have I been creating some peplum this year. I don't know what is happening to me, but I do really like it, especially in this collared style shirt. This feels very fun and fresh and something I haven't exactly seen done a bunch, where it's sort of that more business button up at the top, party at the bottom, right? And then it's got this great low back going on. I just think this is really, really fun. And with a skinny jean or, you know, a skinny black pant, this would just be a really fun one to accessorize, I think. We are, of course, calling for cotton blends, linen, poplin, sateen, any kind of shirting, anything like that, I'm sure all kind of thrown into that category. And I think either of these would be great lengthened into a dress situation. Either one, really, just from the peplum down, just kind of letting it release into a skirt. So again, I see a lot of potential in this pattern. All right, so let me know down below if you had any favorite patterns from this Memorial Day weekend haul, / if you yourself went and purchased any of these during the Memorial Day sale. I am obviously excited about all of these for different reasons, but I always love hearing your thoughts and your feedback on anything sewing related. Let me know if you are going to sew any of these up and what your plans are. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, it is a sewing and fashion channel, so definitely consider subscribing and coming along for more content like this. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really helps the channel out and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you soon. Bye!